He said both. You would expect him to be like, oh no, it's completely about the money. That's all I care about. All I want is to make sure that she has it. And no. All right, welcome back to the party, everybody. I am your host, Lutch, aka the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Let's party. So you guys know I'm a big fan of Patrick Bet-David, and he dropped this video the other day, and I thought it was really cool about him dropping a $1,000 tip at a restaurant, and apparently it pissed people off. Let's see what he's got to say.
So the other day I gave a $1,000 tip at the restaurant and I posted the receipt with a story behind it, and people, some of them, lost their minds. I'm going to tell you today why, when you go out there and do acts of kindness, why you ought to share it publicly. And I know many say don't do it. I'm telling you, do it. My argument is coming here shortly. If you get value from this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. So I don't know how closely you're following on what's going on with art as an alternative investment, but a lot of major companies like Goldman Sachs, PIMCO, they're starting to talk to their clients about alternative investment. Matter of fact, this last year I was at Art Basel, and guess who was there? Goldman Sachs. I had a dinner with them, and it was all around people that are investing millions of dollars into art as an alternative investment.
You guys see what's happening with the banks. Buy some art. That is not financial advice.
Here's some stats. 2022 was the biggest auction year ever. Highest total from big three auction houses, nearly $18 billion. My wife is born on Valentine's Day, February 14th. So we're going out there in Miami. We go to this restaurant called Joe's Stone Crab. We go grab a seat. This lady comes up. Her name is Kiera, and she's giving us incredible service. And while we're eating, I love learning about a restaurant. So tell me the story about this place. I've been here before, but I don't really know the history. Well, see that picture? That's the family. But here, that's Joe. This is how this place got started in 1913, just less than 20 years after Miami got started in 1896. This place was nothing. Miami was nothing. People only came here for this. And he started this, and it's been around for 4 generations. And it's the #1 restaurant in America for grossing top-line revenue. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Pre-pandemic, #1 restaurant in gross revenue. Only one place. Like, wow, that's intense. And I'm looking around, my wife and I'm like, babe, how many people do you think work here? I don't know. Let me ask Kiera. Kiera comes back. Hey, Kiera, how many people work here? Well, we have this many waiters and waitresses. I'm number 24 out of whatever, 89, I think she said. We have nearly, you ready? 400 employees. One restaurant, nearly 400 employees.
I don't know if you've ever worked in a restaurant, but that is a lot of employees for a restaurant. Usually you have maybe 50, 400 employees.
And then I noticed everybody that was coming in, that would go to this lady with their whatever they're bringing to the customers, and this lady had to look at their receipt and I'm like, what are they doing there? So I don't know what they're doing over there. So Kiera, just out of curiosity, why do all those waiters and waitresses, why do you guys all stand in line there? And you talk to that lady. She says, well, I've been here for 20 years, and boom, this is what she said. Today is actually my 20-year anniversary. I'm like, oh, wow. So what do you talk to that lady for? She says, we take our receipts, and she checks portions. I said, portions? Yes.
So again, if you never worked in a restaurant, portions. How much, when you scoop something, whether it's mashed potatoes, whether you are scooping, you take a scoop and you flatten it, or you take the scoop and it's a heaping scoop, that stuff adds up. When you're adding, especially like sauces and stuff, you're giving somebody a side of ketchup. Like, if it's supposed to be 1.5 ounces and you give them 2 ounces, and everybody does that through the whole night, that's a lot of ketchup you're giving away.
Great system. I said, so tell me, how do you like working here? Are you kidding me? I'm so grateful. I'm so happy. This company's changed my life. I've been here for 20 years. Today's my 20 year. I'm like, wow. She got emotional listening to her story.
There's something that a lot of people who have never worked in a restaurant that can't understand. If you find a good team, it doesn't even need to be like a high-class restaurant. If you find a good team, a good manager, good wait staff, good people in the kitchen, that can be such a rewarding job. And because it is based on tips, the better everybody works together, the more money you're all going to make. So not only if you have that good team, not only are you enjoying the time that you're working, but you're making more money. And that's something that, why people will stay at a serving job for 20 years. Because they're having fun, they're making money. Maybe not as much money as they could make in some soulless corporate job, but they get to go and hang out with their friends every day. Restaurant work, that's something else. It is something else.
And by the way, you know how this lady was? Super humble. Like the type of a person you want as a mother, as a sister, as a friend. Man, like emotionally so likable. I'm like, babe. She says, I know what you're going to do. I said, I'm going to do it, babe. Do your thing. Great. I'm going to give her $1,000 tip. So I give her $1,020 tip. So she was $400. She ended getting
not even $1,000, $1,020. $20 would have been plenty. Well, I mean, it was a $400 bill, but so it wouldn't have been plenty. But $1,000 tip. I've never even gotten a $100 tip. But hey, cheers to her.
$1,020 tip. $20 to represent 20 years she's been there. $1,000, and I give it to her, and she says, "What's this? What are you doing? No, what are you doing? What is? You're kidding me." So the reaction was so innocent, so awesome, so grateful. Exact reaction you would be hoping to get, I got.
And so you guys will remember that Mr. Beast put out his recent video curing blindness, and then he put out another video giving kids shoes so that they can get to school and wherever else. And in both cases, first time it was a big story with blindness where everybody was coming out and saying, mainly because of Hassan was saying like, well, why does some YouTuber have to do it? And then somehow that turned into hate against Mr. Beast. But then there was also people, you know, same thing with the new video. Why is it that you have to do this? It's not charity. Da, 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 da. People were just hating on those using their own personal money to help other people. And now Patrick Bet David is not only saying that that's a good thing, not only saying that you should do that and with your money, but that you should record it and post it on social media. Let's see exactly why that's his position.
Okay. And I said, I'm going to post this on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, give her love, and encourage everybody to go there and take care of her when they go to this place. I posted it.
So that's the first thing. It doesn't just post the fact that you left the tip. It posts the fact that you had an experience that was worthy of that tip. So now, what was her name? Karina, Catherine, something like that. I'm terrible with names. I'm sorry. But now she's going to get more people. Everybody who saw that post from Patrick Bet David, who lives in that area, and like, well, I'm going to go check out Joe's Crab Shack or whatever it is. Not just because he went there, but because he went there and had a good enough time that he left $1,020 for a tip.
Comments. Awesome, Pat. You're a top G. You're great. You're this, you're that. All these positive comments. Now I know what comments are coming from. And you know I do it intentionally anyways, because I know what they're going to be saying. And what they don't realize is I intentionally posted it because I know it pisses a lot of people off. Let me read some of the comments. Here's what some people said. That's all good, but you're supposed to do these good deeds, things out of the goodness of your heart, not to post on social media and brag. Set a better example. Okay, great. So listen, logically, you would see that if you gone to church or you were raised in a Christian family or any kind of denomination, you'd say, he's right. You shouldn't do this. Perfect. Let me give you my argument. Social media. Do you see things that people pick up that are bad habits, things they shouldn't be doing? How do you fight that? So let me get this straight. So the bad habits, promote it as much as you want. But listen, all the good people do, don't advertise it.
So everybody is up in arms when they're posting something that they did that was good, because the idea is that it's supposed to be just goodness out of the goodness of your heart. But when it's something bad, it doesn't really matter why it's bad. As long as it's entertaining, we're good to go. But what that does is create a culture where only the bad stuff gets attention. And so now people are doing bad things for the attention and not just posting something that they did that happened to be bad. You're encouraging more of that behavior. So PBD here is saying if you post that good behavior and you get attention for that, then even if you are just doing it for the attention, you're at least doing something good.
God forbid you're going to be judged for it. How do you fight negative habits and negative behavior?
Look how cute Morty is. Luva super thanks for him. He gets a treat with every single one.
By showing good gestures. Mr. Beast, every time he goes and changes someone's life and gives $10,000, $50,000, here's a car, here's a house. He's got thousands of other YouTubers now are doing the same thing to be like Mr. Beast. Are we teaching giving? That's a good thing, because for the most part, everything's promoting what? Taking. These guys are teaching giving, and we should say, hey, Mr. Beast, stop giving away money to people. You're not doing a good deed. Stay quiet while you're doing this. I say keep giving, because God knows the way Mr. Beast is going, in the next 10, 20 years, he's going to be giving away billions of dollars, and you ain't paying taxes for that. He's choosing to give that away. Keep giving, Mr. Beast. Let me read the next comment to you. I can't even afford a $400 meal, let alone a $1,000 tip. So how do you think it feels to millions of Americans out there at these times? This is a boast, and a lot of you will be impressed. Yeah, okay, there was a time I couldn't afford to have a lemonade or a Coke, but I dreamt of one day possibly doing more. There was a time I went to a Christmas party with my sister and my father sitting there and her husband, and they didn't go to a honeymoon, and I didn't have $1 to give a gift to neither one of them, and I saw other people doing it, and it inspired me. I didn't bitch about it. I said, I'd love to one day do it. You ought to start thinking bigger so you can contribute to your own family and the people around.
So instead of complaining about your situation and the fact that you can't do things that other people can do, and assuming that they were always able to do those, that they didn't earn the ability to do those things, you can just do it yourself. Instead of spending time scrolling through Instagram to see that picture in the first place, get off your tuchus and do something that maybe then you can go out and get a $400 dinner.
You shouldn't say, I can't believe you're doing this and I can't ever do it. You should say, wow, if he did it, I can as well. That's an identity flaw in you that you got to check, not me. What feels better, leaving a $1,000 tip or telling people about it? Both. I'm very comfortable with it. I think you ought to give a $1,000 tip, and if you can get a chance to challenge and inspire other people to do so, do it. But in this situation, how do you think Kiara feels?
Kiara, that was her name. Great. I love that. What do you think feels better, leaving the $1,000 tip or posting about it? He said both. You would expect him to be like, oh no, it's completely about the money. That's all I care about. All I want is to make sure that she has it. No. He is telling you, yes, it makes me feel good to get clout for good things. Just like it feels good to get clout for bad things, I'm just doing the better thing. Hard to argue with that, isn't it?
How do you think she feels being recognized? When do you think she got this kind of recognition, getting millions of views? You think she's happy she got the love? You think she's happy she's being recognized for going above and beyond? You think she's going to go tell that story and say, you know what happened today? Today, 20-year anniversary, I got this. Do you think that message of encouraging people to not quit, not give up, stay somewhere, be a leader, make it work, be grateful, have the right attitude, do you think that is an example more people need to emulate? I've been in business for a long time. I tell you, not a lot of people have that attitude, positivity, grateful. Let me give my best. Let me do good. Even when some of these things are not going good, I'm keeping that chin up. I'm still doing my job. I'm being dependable, reliable, accountable. Yes, I think a lot of people ought to emulate Kiara's habits, and the story needs to be told. This next one here really messes with a lot of people's minds. And
okay, here we go.
15 years ago, 10 years ago, but you're going to see what angle I'm going to take with this. Here's what one person said. PBD is worth approximately $200 billion. It's like me tipping $1.02. We're not impressed by you, big fella. Okay, let me explain this to you. My wife and I are in Monaco. We're sitting down. Okay, we had sold the company.
Monaco.
This is the biggest amount of money that came into our accounts. And first time you look at it, like, wow, look at this. I said, let me explain to you what's going to happen next. You're about to be attacked. She said, what do you mean I'm about to be attacked? Here's what's going to happen. If all of a sudden people realize how much money you have, all the money you give them, they're always
never going to be enough.
So greedy. That's all you gave us. That's all you gave us. That's all you gave us. People who don't want to work for their money, no matter how much you ever give them, it's never enough.
And that's not even just with money. That's not even just with money. That's with attention. That's with rights. That's with anything. You give a little, and it's never enough. Give an inch and they want a mile. This applies to so many things. If I were to actually go down the list, it would be the entire video. But you guys get the point. I mean, definitely check out PBD's video if you want to hear the rest of the story, rest of the comments, and how he responds to that last one. I definitely want you guys to check out his video. But I just wanted to share that with you guys because I think it's important, especially since we were talking about the whole MrBeast debacle. I think bringing up the idea that it is relevant, it is important to post people doing good things so that other people see that people are doing good things, that social media isn't just all bad all the time. I think that is important. I hope you guys agree. So whether you do, whether you don't, let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for partying with me once again. I am your host, Lutch, aka the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Until next time, I am out of here. Peace.